I'm going to declutter this bookshelf, and I want you to come along with me so I can show you exactly how I declutter. Hi, I'm Shemaine, and I'm here to help you with your cleaning, decluttering and organizing needs one video at a time. It is just a mix of candles, plants, books, some odds and ends, and that is my problem. This is a dumping zone. If you didn't know what a dumping zone is, now you do. A dumping area is a place where everything just gets dumped that doesn't have a place. Sometimes they do have a place and you just don't have the time to take it there, so you stuff it wherever you can find a spot. And we're going to go through what is on the shelf, what can stay, and what should go. Because to be honest with you, it is looking quite cluttered. There is a lot of advice out there on decluttering, organizing, cleaning. Some people like to declutter in a different way to others, and some clean different to others. So you need to find something that works for you. Something that's worked for me is doing little increments instead of trying to do everything in one day. Achieving that can be quite tricky. Life just has so much happening. At any time you could be pulled away and need to go off somewhere. So you don't want to be stuck with a whole room full of things, and then when you get home, you have to now worry about that because you actually started tackling it and didn't finish. So the first thing we're going to do right now is we are going to tackle these shelves one at a time so that we accomplish one shelf, and if something happens, then we can move on. If it doesn't, we can carry on. So the goal I'm going for with this bookshelf today is to make it look good, because I use it a lot as a backdrop in most of my videos, and also to just get rid of that stuff that's not supposed to be there. And while doing that, I'm going to give it a bit of a tidy. So let's start with this shelf first. I've got tiny little turtles on the top here. These are Raven's little collectibles. A sign that was bought for me by my family. A random little dinosaur. A soccer ball. I think this is a Shopkin. Some coins. A candle. Another gecko. A Mother's Day gift which I allowed to die. A fake plant. Some more coins. Someone's hiding money here. These are just some lights I use in my videos just to create some background. So we're starting on the top and we're going to work our way down, because remember, whatever you dust off the top is going to fall down. So always start from the top and then work your way down. I've got just a normal duster and I'm just going to give that a good dust. This bookshelf is not very sturdy, I must say. We've now got a clean surface, so we're going to go back and decide what's going back on here. This plant just adds a little bit of greenery into my room, which I really like. But I really think it needs to be more centered. This is really cute. I love having this in here. It is a light that switches on and off, which just adds a bit of an atmosphere in the room. And then as for the candle, I have some further down, so we're just going to put this one up here for now. And then we're going to put my mood lights back on, which I have cleaned. I just want to figure out where they're going to go. These are really cool. They connect to my phone, so I can put whichever color light on I wish. They are currently not plugged in, so I'm not going to put them on now. Looks a bit messy having it there, but you don't really see it. I'm happy with that shelf. I've got 3 items on there. It's clean. It doesn't look cluttered. These are the random items that were on the shelf that I've taken off. I think I might just put these back up on that light because the kids are trying to keep them safe and just out of the way. But all this will go back to where it belongs, and I need to decide what I'm going to do with my Mother's Day plant that I killed. I definitely don't have green fingers. Shelf number 2. We've got some candles. Whoops. A photo. Box with jewelry in it. And some books. I've got the books held up with these metal book holders. They're really cool. So what I like is that I put them this way around and they just disappear. You don't really see them. And you don't have this huge piece sticking out the side here. So it works really well. So we're just going to take that off. Just want to have a look at the books that are here and see which ones I want to keep and which ones I think need to go off of here. So I think that one can stay. That one can go. That one can stay. That one can stay. I see there's some cards here and some things from the kids. So we're just going to take that away. That one can stay. That one can stay. Maths for kids can go. And the crosswords can go. So those are good. I'm happy with those. And we're just going to take all this off. We'll just lift our little thingies up for now. Going in with our duster. Now to organize again. We're going to put the books back. I think I want the books in the middle, and I don't want the books to be in any kind of heart order. Can you see why I like this book holder so much? It just literally disappears at the bottom here. So you can see it there under the books, but it's holding them together, and there's nothing here stopping me from putting anything else next to it. It looks neat and tidy. There are different ways of putting the books on the shelves. I have chosen to go with different hearts. I don't want heart order. I just want them to be kind of like random. I've put them all that they are lined up in the front. I quite like that. I don't know why, but I used to do heart order. Now this is my new way of doing it. And I want to add 2 more books to that, which are on the lower shelf. Good to Great and The Happiest Man on Earth. So I want to put those 2 books in there because I think I'd like to get to read those as well at some stage. Keeping with the randomness, I'm going to stick this one on this side. And I'm going to stick this one in the middle. Let's see how that looks. You don't always have to have it right the first time. Sometimes it's nice to play around with it and fix it as you go. I just want them to all be nice and straight and lined up. OCD much? What's nice is it's covering my cables at the back here, so you don't see the cables because the books are in front of them. So now I have some more candles, but at the bottom here I have another, can you believe it, candle. So this one I'm going to add to that, and we're going to put them as 3 over there. And then we only have the spot over here. Now I have my jewelry box. I love the color, and I think that's why it's on here, is just to add a bit of color. The only thing is I would have liked to have put it this way. However, because the bookshelf is not wide enough, it doesn't look right. I'm just going to put it slightly on so that it just is on the lip there, but it's not straight, because I think that's just too straight for me. So we're going to just put it a bit that way. And there we go. Shelf number 2 is done. So now we can drop the leaves of this one back down again. They're just going to hang over the books, which I think is really cool. There's no right or wrong when it comes to doing your own. Be yourself. Do what feels right for you and make it look the way you want it to. Nothing drastic has happened in my life as yet, so we can move on to bookshelf number 3. I have this funny little thing that we've got that's come with us all the way from Sydney. It was actually given to me and I just really like it. I don't know what it is. We've got some Game of Thrones books here, which we can take off. This is just a box of some random things. You can actually look inside if you want to see. So just some random hair clips that I have that we're just not using, so rather than keeping them in the drawers where I don't really need them, I've put them in here. This was actually a biscuit box, believe it or not, shortbread biscuits, and I just loved the container, and that's why I chose to use it. Let's give it a dust, a good clean. As far as the Game of Thrones books go, I really think I've got enough books up here. They're going to go onto a bookshelf somewhere else in the house. I think we'll keep that there for now, and we can use that to work on as we go. Maybe we put our little... I just do what I like, so whether this matches or not, I like it, and that's where it's going to be. So for now, we'll leave it as that. Taking another look, this is what we have done so far, and I actually think it's starting to look a lot better. I really like it. I don't know if you think there's just too much in the middle here. We'll leave it for now and see how it goes, and that shelf will work on as we go as well. But we're going to tackle this clutter zone down here. And as we go, I'm going to explain some of the items to you so you can figure out why it is that these things end up in the zones that you don't want them. I think, however, before we get started on that bottom shelf, I do need to try and put some of these items away where they belong. So I'm quickly going to do that and we'll be right back. In order to avoid up and down 6,000 times, which I would probably do normally, I'm going to put these items in this little basket. And the reason for this is just to get it from A to B. But this way, everything is going into the tub, and I can carry it all in one go and stop as I go and deliver it to where it belongs as I'm passing each area. The reason I'm putting these items away now is because, like I said, things happen, and you don't want to be saddled with it sitting over there waiting for you when you come back from wherever it is you get rushed off to. So we're going to pack that away before we start that big mess there. So on this shelf, if Happy will move his little tail, we have some books. I think it's time to change them up. So we'll move these off of this shelf, and we're going to replace them with the Game of Thrones books. And I'm just going to put them very randomly. I know, I'm weird. On my desk by my computer, you see I have a little stash of money. That's where the money goes. for now. When kids need some money, at least I know where to grab it. When it comes to cards and things from the kids, I have this red box that I like to keep all my little sentimental items into. And this is a video I'm actually planning on doing in the future, so I won't spoil that one. But that's basically where I put all my stuff that I'd like to keep. Just things that are really sentimental that I don't want to really throw away. And then as for the maths book, it actually belongs here in the kids' room, because they use it for maths, but I see their bookshelves are rather full. They don't really have space for books, so it looks like I need to get stuck in here again. I'm just going to put it up here for now. The crossword book is actually new. I haven't done any of them. They don't really appeal to me. And the book, those two items, I'm going to put in a donate container. These random little things I will put in the kids' room in their toys where they belong quickly. And this, I'm afraid, is probably going to go in the bin. So what you have seen is me cleaning off three shelves. And you can see how I did them one by one so that we don't have any problems if anything arises. If everything has a place, you know where it has to go. It does make things a lot easier for you. Now, as you can see, the zone behind me is not a zone for what those things are for. To be honest with you, I've never really created any kind of plan on that zone. I don't really know what belongs in there. I've never thought of what to put in there. So it has just become a dumping ground, and that's what happens if you have a space in your home that needs filling and you don't have any kind of plan for what goes there. This is what becomes a dump zone, a nightmare, something you have to tackle very often because everything just ends up there. Some great ways to prevent clutter are by creating zones. So for instance, you can get those huge money tubs that you could put in your home, and all the coins you get put in there, and then once a year go open it up and see how much is in there and splurge at Christmas by buying something with it. Have labeled baskets all around your home if you don't like the labels and you know where you put things. For example, on my TV unit, at the bottom I have a basket over there. I know that that is all my video recording stuff. If I open it, yes, it's not labeled, but I know everything I need for my YouTube recording, whatever I need is in there. It's in a beautiful basket and it's on a shelf, and that's a zone. Above it is usually all our towels. For some reason, my towels are disappearing. I don't know where they're going because the washing is pretty much up to date. But usually my towels are rolled up and placed in there. Over there on that shelf, you can see how I have rolled up my bedding in there and my sheets, and everything I need for my bed is in there. And then in this basket here, which I know is very random to the others, is just hats. I mean, if we need to go to the beach or anything, all our caps are in here. I know that's what it is. It's another zone. So I have created these zones in my room for these items, and knowing that that's what goes in there makes it a lot easier to just organize a little better and not have things placed where they don't belong. So let's start with this area. Now, I don't know what's going to come out of here. I'm actually scared doing this on camera. I have avoided it because I wanted to do this on camera. So to start with, this is actually a project for a video. I found this in Aldi. It's like a frame that you put all your kids' artwork into that you get. You know, when they come home from school and they've created something, or they're artistic at home and you want to put things in. I was planning on doing this video, and that's why it is in here. I have a child who loves to be creative, so this obviously was part of that video. It's one of her books. My room gets used by the kids a lot. I don't really have a space where my kids don't go. So a lot of this is artwork. That belongs to those baskets which you saw previously, which I created for zones. I somehow ended up with an extra one. Honestly, to keep this is just silly. These came out of some Lego sets that can go. These are some sentimental items from my husband's drawer when I replaced them with smaller drawers. These are probably going to go into that red box that you saw earlier. This has actually been built. So instead of keeping this whole box, you could cut out the picture. There's a small picture on the side there. And all the extra pieces that are left in here can go into the Ziploc bag with it. And instead of having this huge thing, you've got a little picture with the instructions in a Ziploc bag. And you can go put this in a cupboard somewhere with all your other Lego. I think that would work a lot better than having this huge box sitting in here taking up space. This is a yo-yo. We had a bit of a puzzle building over December holidays for the kids, and these were just some of the puzzles that we were doing with them. There's a piece of paper with some writing on it. can see is just tossable. I know she does a lot of blind bags. I know I can chuck these things. So I'm going to get rid of these in the recycling. It's a random stationery bag. I think this belongs to Cricut iron, so that should go with my Cricut stuff. Knee pads for soccer. That's Logan's and should go where that stuff belongs. This is a mic for my content creation. I know where my zone is because I showed you just now where this goes. So I literally just have to step over the camera and put it behind in the basket. But for now, I'll just put it one side. And then we've got a tub of things. It looks like I tried to organize this and didn't finish. Books to jot things down in. Okay, so the battery on my camera died. Back again, battery charged. Let's hope we can finish this. And where was I? This is why you don't do tub organization, because as you can see, I've dumped it in a tub and I literally just put the tub back in there. So it didn't actually achieve anything. Inside of it is just some random stuff. Some stickers, postcards, Christmas stuff, bee spoons, I think that's what you call them. That one's still sealed. I have a spot in the garage where I keep all our stuff that we use for parties, decorations and things. So all the Christmas items will go in there. Kids stuff, Pokemon cards, invoices, stationery, PS5 games, more stationery, balls. It's crazy. An antenna that we bought thinking it would help us to connect to free TV. Brand new, useless. That's the kind of thing you need to get rid of. That's for a toothbrush, glasses, hair accessories, hanger. I mean, if I haven't proven to you guys already that this is a dumping zone, then I don't know. Sellotape, cat toys. And there is just receipts, and more receipts. So basically, that is what is in there. We have our bag and we're now going to look for junk. Stuff that you don't even have to think about, you just know has to get tossed. Okay, that's all the rubbish out of there. Everything else lying around me has got a zone in some area of my house. I'm now going to go and put all the stuff away off camera. I've shown you how I packed the items away that I took from the top. I'm pretty much going to do the same thing with these. This has to become a zone of some kind. You need to label it something. So if you've got a spot in your home that's empty like this, you have to kind of like say to yourself, what goes there? What would I look for in that space? Because it's open, it's not going to be closed. I want something in there that's going to look nice. Having said that, I don't really have anything that looks nice that can go in there. And looking around my room, I've got nothing to put in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you have a suggestion for me. Let me know in the comments below. What should I do with the zone? What would you do if it was in your room? The only other thing I have in my room is vinyl, which is in this cupboard over here. You can see all the vinyl I've got stuffed in here. I don't know if it would store properly in here and how it would look. Give me a suggestion. I am waiting for your comments. What would you say belongs in here that will look nice and won't look scruffy and cluttered, that can avoid this problem from happening in the future? And I hope you're thinking of me while I'm putting all this stuff away. What is good about it is it's teaching me to not do this, because I have to now go and put all this stuff away, find its spots, which takes time. If you have a zone, if you're organized, this is not going to happen. You're not going to have all this to go put away, and that time is going to be freed up so you can do other things. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you in my next video.